everybody, welcome to this Let's Play of The Sims 4. Today we're going to be doing a very special sort of thing. We're going to be doing a collaboration. I've teamed up with this fabulous YouTuber by the name of Grace Moore, and we're going to build something together. I picked out a nice spot in Newcrest for this build, and it took me a while to figure out what I was going to be doing. So I just started off by making a bunch of little boxes, and then the ideas kind of fell into place afterwards. Just a bunch of squares, and I ended up deciding that these would be guard towers. So messing around with the heights, trying to figure out what kind of roofs I wanted, and trying to make sure that they were just the right size. It all took quite a bit of doing. The total length of this video, well, it took me about an hour and a half to do the things that you'll see here today. But obviously this has been whittled down to about 15 minutes, because I think that's a good amount of time to watch a video. I think it's not too long, not too short. I usually like 15-minute videos. I really love this plaster that I picked out for these walls. It's got this little bit of brick exposed, and I absolutely love it. It's very fairy tale feeling. I decided that these two little blocks here would end up being like a kind of gatehouse, and I was going to make a little castle type thing. I really liked that whole aesthetic, like a Mediterranean princess place to be. Here I am just messing around with the roofs, trying to get a perfect type and readjusting them, making sure they look good. And little doors on the inside. I went for plain doors, on the interior so you can get up into the towers. Next were the windows, and it always takes me a long time to figure out which windows to use. It's like one of the hardest parts of building is picking out the right windows. I swear. But the stuff I ended up with, I really liked, and I love these flower boxes. I love that pop of yellow. This whole thing, it's kind of like a more sophisticated, primal color scheme. So you've got a lot of reds and blues and yellows, but not so in your face bright. They're a little bit different. So the red's kind of an orangey red, the blue's kind of a teal, and the yellow's kind of orangey too. So, but I think it works really well. And for this one, these roofs on the side, I ended up stacking two roofs on top of each other, and I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. I had seen other people do this kind of roof before, and I was actually surprised that I had figured out how to do it. So, yeah. And here I am readjusting the rest of the little towers to make sure they're the right size. And the other towers the towers at the corners, I should say, are a little bit thicker, because I thought they should be. Like the ones, at the entrance are just sort of to show you where to go in at. The rest are to mark the boundaries of the property. Yeah, on the sides, again, picking out windows. It's really tough. Like, what kind of windows do I want? Like, a lot of them don't even go in the center, which really kind of gets on my nerves. So, I don't know why I'm so OCD about things being in the center, but it's really important to me. Excuse me. We're getting there. I'll eventually settle on a window type. Yeah, and I made sure the interior doors for the guard towers were white. I didn't want them sticking out too much. boy, I'm amazed at how fast this looks when I speed it up to 10 times the normal speed. I don't know why it takes me so long to think. Oh yes, there's these little side things. I thought it would be really cool to have this kind of walkway sort of thing leading from tower to tower. Kind of like maybe a guard patrol could patrol out there, though there wouldn't be any actual guards because this is a Sims, it's not Skyrim. I seem to keep on forgetting that. And I like that this kind of added a bit of depth so that the towers could stick out a bit further from the rest of things. I ended up adding a porch around the outside, a little veranda. It's a really small porch too, so you can't really do much of anything in there. But it looks kind of cool. You'll see that later. Here I'm seeing if there would be a better choice for the wall color, and I decided, nah. This plaster is pretty, it looks pretty nice, I think. It doesn't have that weird tiling look so much as some of the other wallpapers do, where you can see, okay, yeah, that's just a repeated texture. It's kind of annoying when you see that happening. It's like, really? Really? I know that ain't natural over there. That ain't natural. Oh yes, and I also wanted a bit of a garden back there. I want this to have a very nice garden-y, fairy tale, village-y kind of feel to it. And I added these little fences along the side, but I ended up getting rid of them because I was going to add something else, and you'll see that in a little bit. So they ended up just going like, bye-bye, I don't need you. I don't need you. I never really liked you anyway. I tried to figure out, could I do something with some columns? I wasn't feeling it. It was not tripping my trigger at all. I thought it looked dumb. And yes, picking out the stairs. I love these stairs. I wish I had stairs like those in my house. They're so pretty. They've got the little tile in the back of them. Ah, gorgeous. And then they've got this little plaster on the side. Oh, I just love terracotta tile look, that Mediterranean feel. And yes, I had to add a path, but I wanted to make sure it didn't look too much like a pattern. And again, no columns. No columns. Columns look bad. These columns look bad. Yeah, the porch. It kind of... Yeah, there we go. There you go. There's the porch. And I had to get rid of this fence one by one, because otherwise it would just delete everything. So I saved afterwards, because like, I did not want to have to do that again if it crashed. Oh god. No. That would not be fun. It's like, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here, you little thingies. I don't want ya. I don't need ya. I don't like ya. Move. I tried to add foundation. Again, was not feeling the foundation. There were a couple options that I kind of liked, like the stone that was added with Get Together, but my friend Grace, she doesn't have Get Together, so yeah. Oh, and it took me a while to pick out like what kind of fence I wanted for the veranda. I really liked what I ended up picking. It actually looks pretty nice. And yeah, I added a little bit more tile there and some flower boxes. And I tried to see if a gate would work. I didn't go with a gate because it just looked dumb. Yeah, and so did removing half of the wall. Like, that's not going to work. That's what most of building in, well, any of these games is trying a bunch of stuff. seeing if it works, and if it doesn't, going back to the drawing board. And just, you try stuff until something sticks, and then you keep adding stuff until it looks good. That's the secret to building. Not that you wanted to learn anything about building from me, because I'm not that great at it, but yeah, so I tried these different arches. I went with one arch. I thought one arch was good enough. Eventually, I decided on one arch. It's a process. A lot of this is a process. It's never going to be perfect the first time you try. That's a good life lesson. Life lessons with Rendora. Not perfect first time you try. And yeah, I've also been feeling really discouraged lately with some of my other series. But that's like another place where you've got to say, you just got to keep going. Maybe try something else. Try something a little bit different. You can't give up. I'm telling myself not to give up. Because you don't really lose until you stop trying. Have you ever thought of that? Yeah. I haven't. You don't lose till you stop trying. Added a bunch of these little lanterns because I figured you need to see. And I wasn't totally satisfied with these sides of the walls because they were looking kind of plain. But I did end up coming up with a solution, and here I am just putting doors on little archways in the interior so people can walk through. I really like these little flower boxes. I mean, you can tell because they put them everywhere. But they look really cool. I like them. I want to do more builds like this because they're so much fun. Yeah, I wanted to do these little square things, but not feeling it. That's the word of the day. Phrase of the day. Not feeling it. Oh, did you hear that? That was my voice at 10 times its speed. Because I realized it was recording my voice, and I didn't want it to record my voice because I wasn't saying anything particularly interesting or useful. I like to do that after, because then I have some perspective. And also, it's not tied to the recording, so I have more flexibility in editing it. I like these doors at the side here. These blue ones, I feel like they just fit in so well. They tie things together, and I like that. Yes. I decided I was going to grow some pomegranate trees around the outside. I mean, I found the pomegranate trees, and I placed some seeds. But I didn't, they're not instant pomegranate trees. You have to wait a day or two in game for them to sprout, which kind of sucks. And there I am entering the code so I can find the pomegranate, so yeah. Took me a while. Do you realize how long that debug list is? Holy smokes. Man, it is long. Long. There we go. I was like, oh yeah, these will look great. And then I put them down and just these little lumps. I was like, that's right, you have to grow them. But I hope they'll look good eventually. Ugh. And I think I'm really close to wrapping this up. There's a couple more things that I did. First of all, I added a pond and decided I would add a little roundabout near the pond so it would look kind of like a village center. I tried to see if I could make another little building on the inside, but it didn't look good. No, it's just no. And I put a special tree in there. I actually really enjoyed building this stuff. I'm surprised. And I'm kind of tempted to do more things like this in the future. Although this place is far from being completed, it could definitely use a name. Please leave a suggestion down below, and I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you next time!